Young Justice episode 7 review. This was another great episode. The season is really picking up, so let's begin. First, we start off at Mars. It says April 20th. The last episode ended on April, I think it was 18th. So we're just picking up where we left off. And what we see is we see a bunch of white Martians gathered together. So automatically already knew Miss Martian's brother had to be have something to do with it. And we see her brother standing there making his preach as against the Green Martians. And then we see Miss Martian enters. Now this is about I think a month after Superboy's death. So I guess she's been looking for her brother. She hasn't left. I know Beast Boy has left, but she and her uncle John is still there. So she's been looking and she's mad. You see the green eyes. She's coming up. You see the other Martian fighters getting ready to fight her, which you already know that's not going to work. Knocks him out of the way and says, "Where is my brother?" Finds him, holds his face up and said, "Why did you kill Connor?" And he's like, "What? You're defending him? What does that got to do? You know, why you even care about him? And why did you use kryptonite?" And he's like, I don't even know what kryptonite is. And I kind of laughed at that. It's like, he's a Martian. Why would he know what kryptonite is? How would you even think he knows what kryptonite is? And then when she realizes after she scans his brain, it's like, all right, he's telling the truth. She just breaks down. Well, first he falls down, grabs a boom tube out of her, like, "I'm getting out of here. She might actually kill me." And then Miss Martian breaks down and starts crying because she doesn't know what's going on. And obviously she's hurt. It's been a month since Superboy's death, and she's really taking it hard. And we fast forward to Tigress and the two moles. And the episode is called "The Lady or the Tigress." And I thought it was beautiful the way they brought in, I don't know if it was a poem or whatever she was reading, to see which door you're going to take. And as we sit and we watch, we see these two moles just looking at each other saying, all right, who's the real one? Who's really on the opposite side? We'll find out later in the episode. And now we fast forward to Gotham City, April 20th. And we have Oracle sitting there with the picture of Batman and all her Bat family on there. I didn't know at the time, but this story is very personal to her. She wants to help find Orphan. So what the two moles don't know is that Artemis is talking to Oracle. And one thing I love about Young Justice is their technology. I hope DC can bring it to the movies, because this is really great stuff. She's talking to her and she asks her through the eyes, "What do you want to do? You want to summon the Bat family or just stay on course?" And she says, "Stay on course." So we go now. It's Santa Prisca, still April 20th. And Orphan is locked up, just sitting there. She probably knows this area well. And her mother walks in and says, "My daughter has finally returned." And, she's happy that her daughter's there, everything that she's taught her. And Orphan is like, "Lady, I can't speak, but I hate you. The things you've done to me. Batman has better cable," all the good stuff of, just living life. And it brings back a flashback of the mission that her mother sent her on as, one of the shadows. And what that mission was to kill the Joker, which I thought was, excellent. I said, oh man, this is going to be a great episode up to this point. And then we move right into Mel Ocragen. I don't even know where this is, but this is obviously a place on Mars. And what we see is John Jones, Martian Manhunter, speaking to Hawk Girl, saying, and she told him, like, "Listen, we don't know where that guy got the kryptonite from, but we have checked every place. There's no loose kryptonite. All the kryptonite is stored and safe. So wherever he got it from, wherever Martian Manhunter's sister, brother got it from, it ain't one of our places. And that's very puzzling. It's like it makes the story more deeper. And now we fast forward to Tigress and the two moles, and they're getting ready to do a deep sea dive under ocean to get to the island of Santa Prisca so they can be undetected. And, they're underwater. They're doing their thing. She's pointing to the areas they need to go to get in. And as soon as they get off, they take out all the little guards that's there. And Onyx asks a great question. She's like, she knows we're coming. Why will we take out these guards? It's like, just to let her know we're here when they don't report back. So I kind of liked it. It's like, once again, Young Justice holds no secrets. She knows they're coming for Orphan, and she's just like, all right, let's go. Let her know we're here. Whatever plans they're gonna make, we'll adjust to it. So now as you look, it's now April 21st. This is a day later. And that's really not important, but when Artemis and the two moles first got to the island, it had to be April 20th. This is now a day later. So they've been doing this for basically a full day, being, full espionage. And the mother comes back to the daughter with her two subordinates, and they're letting her know that, Artemis is here and they're coming to save her. And it's like, all right, let's get whatever plans we have in place. Mother squeezes the daughter's cheeks up for the betrayal of, why did you betray me? Why I gave you everything, that type of speech. And then fast forward to, we see the Joker, who made a hilarious speech, a long speech, but hilarious one, about he does not like to be betrayed and how the light betrayed him. And he's holding everybody responsible. And he said, how come the Riddler knew it was a ruse and you didn't tell me? So he really hated being the butt of the jokes. All the legion of supervillains knew that that wasn't real, and it was just a front for their true purpose, which was the light. And he's just mad, so he's taking everybody out. And he is he has everybody in the UN. He did a Riddler joke, UN, telling the story. And as you can see, they had somebody from Atlantis there. They had Wonder Woman there. So, and look at her eyes. She mad. She's like, this crazy. She ain't gonna die, but she knows the rest of them are. But what we also see is, we see the Bat family. The Bat family's anywhere the Joker is, the Bat family's there, and they're cutting all the bombs that Joker had made. First you got Nightwing, then you got Batwoman, then you got Robin, and then you got, I keep forgetting her name, but she also cut the bomb. And then the Joker's like, all right, time to push the button and make all of you pay for what you have done to me. And nothing happens because they cut the bombs. And then we see place goes dark, and as you know, Batman comes in, and Joker's like, oh no, I've been here before. Batman's standing right behind me, isn't he? Yes, Joker, he is standing right behind you. He throws his little smoke bomb to escape, and now we go into infrared mode. And Barbara Gordon is just watching everything, everybody scatter, and she sees a shadowy figure with a blade. And she's like, what the hell is going on? And then we fast forward back to Gotham, April 21st. This is present day. This is not in the flashback anymore. And we see Artemis and the two moles eating food. Now, remember, they've been on this island for a day. This from April 20th to April 21st. So this is all they can eat. This is all they're eating. And I once again, when you understand Young Justice, you love just these little nuances that they do. And they give you a timeline of everything that they're doing. And as we go, we see Miss Martian hugging her parents, getting ready to come back to Earth. She's finally ready to come back home. Beast Boy's been home for about a month or two now. And we fast forward back. Now the Santa Prisca place is now lit up. And she's just waiting. She's telling her subordinates 3, 2, 1. and boom, everything goes dark. And they're like, "Oh, you got people." She's like, "Yeah, I got people." And now we go into like a red mode, for backup generators, and it's time to move in. They start fighting all of the shadows that are there. Move forward. You have Oracle is trying to find Orphan, and with her little mini invisible thing, and they're going through hiding, and then the shocking part was Onyx pulls out a blade on Vandal Savage's daughter, and I'm like, oh, so Onyx was the mole this whole time. I'm like, oh, okay, now she's getting ready to kill her. I'm like, this is crazy. But Onyx is like, this girl is the mole. We need to kill her now. And it's starting to pick up like, all right, who really is the mole? And as we go, we see Miss Martian and Martian Manhunter getting ready to leave. And her sister runs up and says, "Sis, I love you. Take me with you to Earth," which I find very weird. I know she wants to experience new things, and she asked her sister, "Are you coming back?" And she's like, "I'm probably never coming back tomorrow." So she's never gonna go back to her home, which is kind of sad because that's where her siblings and her family is. And her sister's like, "Take me with you." And I don't know if this is Young Justice, so this story will come back to haunt us later. But it's very interesting that her sister wants to come to Earth. For what? We'll find out. And as we go back to now, Onyx has her blade on the throat of Vandal Savage's daughter, Cassandra. And she's like, this girl is a mole. We got to kill her now. And then Cassandra pulls out a glamour charm. Why does she do that? Because her arm is really not broken. Vandal Savage's daughter is the true mole. And the funny thing about it is Onyx was right. She came in and said, this girl, they're gonna do this plant, they're gonna do this whole thing. And she was right. They did it down to a T. Now the crazy thing is we don't know if Onyx is also a mole, but Vandal Savage's daughter has now revealed herself to be the mole. And then she uses those little nanite things. I think that was from season 1 or maybe season 2 that steals information and, gets all the information. I don't know what they were trying to do. And then as we fast forward, we see Oracle looking at Orphan, and then it brings back the flashbacks to why Oracle is now in a chair. She was following Joker. Orphan was following Joker, about to kill him, do her plans. And she ended up cutting Oracle or Barbara Gordon by mistake. And it scarred her, traumatized her. As you see, Nightwing is there calling for an ambulance. Like he knows, like, all right, this ain't just a cut. Like she's really fucked up. She's bleeding from the waist. Like she looks almost dead. She looks like she's paralyzed. And then Oracle drops the blade, takes off her mask. Like, what the hell have I done? It's the first time she's feeling empathy. And Barbara Gordon says, I was trying to save you. Very, very touching moment and a different take on the Oracle story. Once again, Young Justice does everything different, but they do it in such an elegant way. And sometimes I'll be thinking a better way of the way they tell stories for the DC universe. It's sad because, they ain't going to put this in the movies, but they tell stories the way Marvel does their movies. It's different, but it has like a nice tone to it, and you can build. So Orphan is there. She's down. And Barbara Gordon comes in that little invisible thing, gives her something to break out of her chains. Artemis is there fighting Cassandra, Vandal Savage's daughter. She kills the nanites before the nanites released whatever information that she stole from the headquarters. Next we see the shadows burst up, and now she's surrounded by the henchmen, the other shadows. And then who pops up? Artemis's sister. She was there the entire time. watching, making sure whoever was the mole had Artemis's back, because they both could have been the mole. But once again, we still don't know about Onyx. And smoke pops up. They start running, and she's like, I know you didn't think I would come. She's like, oh, I knew you were gonna come. I had like a 50% chance. I knew you were gonna come. You weren't gonna leave me out here all alone. We see Orphan just there waiting, and now everybody's in front of Orphan's cell, which is kind of what we already knew was gonna happen. But you're like, all right, where's this going? And then you got Lady Shiva, who pops up and says, you guys aren't going anywhere. Nobody is leaving this island. And that's where it cuts to black as all of them are surrounded. It was a great episode. And end credit scene, them sitting there coming back to Earth, Miss Martian and her uncle and her sister, which once again, we don't know why the sister's coming to Earth. Maybe she's coming for good intentions. We got to see about that. I don't really trust her sister that much. She just seems a little weird and off to me, but we'll see what happens in later episodes. But overall, this was another great Young Justice episode. The season started off slow, but man, it is going in such a beautiful direction. The only problem I have is that it's one episode a week, but I'm loving it. I hope everybody out there is watching it, is loving it, and continue to watch it if you can on HBO Max, because it has been renewed for season 5, and I think it's heading in the right direction. Okay, this was my review and my breakdown of Young Justice episode 7. I thought it was great. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments in the comment section, and see you again next week.